Welcome to the first episode of the Codelands podcast. Today I have with me Mr. Arenze. Today I'll be having a chat with him to learn from him the process and the things he had to go through in order to get here at the current stage as a software engineer. And I hope that his story, it impacts you in a different way. So can you please tell the audience and myself more about yourself, something that probably I did not really explain here during the introduction.
Actually, as you said, my name is Arinze, and I am a mobile engineer,
Yeah.
aspiring CEO sometime in the future, and that's basically it for now.
Okay, so sometime in the future we are going to hear like Arenze released a very nice application or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe application that will be doing probably something, solving a very substantial problem in the society sometime in the future.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. So I'm going to be asking you some cool questions, and I would like to learn a lot about your experiences. So the first is like what drove you into the tech space? Like what got you interested in tech?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I got into tech. I first knew what tech is all about in 2016. So
Okay.
around 2016, I overheard my friend in school while I was in school talking about tech team. So I wanted to know what he meant by tech team. So
Okay.
I joined him in their meeting. I joined him in their meeting. That was an Actus meeting then in 2016.
Okay.
So after the meeting, they had a sub meeting inside the meeting of the guys that manage the tech stuff in
Right.
Actus. So I also joined that meeting, and then they were talking about tech stuff, how to manage websites, mobile applications, how to do media stuff, make graphic design, and all of that. So that's actually the first place
Your first
that
experience.
I came in contact with that, and I knew what tech is all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Like while getting into the whole tech stuff, did you have any mentorship support? Right? Did you have any mentorship? Know anybody that guided you in the process while learning how to code or something?
So I wouldn't say I have like a dedicated mentor when it comes to tech.
Okay.
When I first discovered that, I didn't have like this is my go-to guide or whatever. Any issue I have in tech, I go to this guy. It
Yeah.
was just like getting to know about this stuff and then joining the team and then learning one or two basics, and every other thing I learned was basically on the internet. So I don't have a specific person or specific people that used to meet whenever I have issues or that mentor me in technology.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I discovered tech.
Yeah. I believe that you started learning in school, like you said. While in the process of learning, did you have um, a point where you were like, man, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like a point where, a point of shege, I would say, like a point of shege.
Yeah, so 2016 discovered this technology of a thing, was off and on inconsistency. 2017, 2018, I graduated, still inconsistent. 2019, graduated, did it like full time. It didn't pay that much. So I was like, why am I doing this thing? Nothing is coming out from it. Coming from agricultural background, because I actually studied animal science in school.
Yeah.
So I decided to try out what I studied in school.
Okay.
So my father was like, we have a space in the village. Let's go down there. Let's set up a poultry farm. So I was like, yeah, poultry farm, nice. I have experience in that. You have to, you're coming in contact with money. You know, when you're doing something and you're not coming in contact with money, the motivation is not
You
there. And
become
one of the
depressed.
chief drives that I have is money.
Yeah.
When there is money flowing through the pipeline, like I'm motivated doing that
Yeah.
stuff. So I did it 2019 full time. There was no money coming from it. So last quarter of 2019, I decided to
Go into poetry.
go into the practice agriculture. So I went into poultry farming. I went back to the village. So I was actually managing a farm of about 300 to 500 broilers.
Okay. Wow.
Then
That's massive. That's
so
massive.
in the village, and it was only me that the
Wow.
workload was there. So while I was doing this poultry stuff in the village, so the guys that I was actually doing this coding stuff then in
Wait,
Enugu,
yeah.
then the coding stores, the doors started opening. They started making money from this
Yeah.
thing. So I was in contact with them. I called them. They're like, they got this project, 200K, 300K, man. I'm like, geez, man. So it was like, I started questioning what am I doing here in this poultry farm, because the amount of work that I need to put in order to make 300K
Yeah.
in that poultry farm, and then I compare it to somebody sitting down somewhere in an office
And
with
cooking up
AC or
something.
fan, and then just write code on a laptop and get paid 300K, and said, no, I must go back to this thing. Since the people I left in this thing are already making money, I must go back,
Cashing out.
triple the energy they are putting into this thing, and I must cash out. After that was 2020. This thing was happening in 2020. So I was doing the farming stuff in 2020. So, and during the COVID time.
Yeah,
So
COVID.
at that time I was alone doing this poultry stuff. It was not easy, man. It was very, very hectic. So by the end of 2020, I was already like, let me just finish this poultry stuff, sell all my beds, pack the money, come back, and then do this
And
tech
focus
stuff
on tech.
full time. You understand? So I had a little bit of money. So I had some money in my bank account that will sustain me till I start getting money from tech. So I already had full assurance that I will make money from this, because the people that I left that were doing this thing before are already making money from them.
Yeah.
So I was like, if these people are making money from this, I must.
Make money from it.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that was where everything
Everything
started.
The university curriculums is very challenging to have extra curricular activities around it.
Yeah.
So while in school, did you have like any challenges learning how to code?
One of the major challenges, and I believe every average Nigerian have this issue, is power. You understand? So I had this laptop that was not lasting up to 2 hours. So I was always looking for where to charge my laptop. You find a way to charge your laptop 2 hours, they will put the gen off, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that was the main challenge I always had.
So power.
So, and then the second one was, the way the school system is structured. So engagement is either you're going for lecture, or you are going to church, or you are going for practicals, or you're in the lodge, and then distractions in the lodge and all of that. So that was another one.
Yeah. So a lot of
So
distractions.
a lot
as
of
well.
stuff. Then that was the thing that caused most of the inconsistencies while in school.
I believe that anybody in tech, right, has this one story of an opportunity they did not take that they regret today. Probably they don't really, it's not a regret that kills them, but it's a regret that they wished if they had taken. It's an opportunity that they regret they had not taken. You understand? Is there something like that for you? Something like, is there an opportunity that an offer that you got from someone, you did not take it, but you're thinking, okay, today if I had taken it, maybe I would have gone a different direction and a lot faster to get to this place here today.
Okay. Yeah. 2019. Yeah, I was actually doing this tech stuff. There was no money coming out from it.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at this thing. Is this thing going to pay off? So we are going for some mass classes that was organized by Binary Hills then in Enugu.
Yeah.
So I met these guys. I've forgotten the name of their company.
What do they do?
They do something about graphics. Now they do games.
Quiver games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the name of their company when they approached me. They had a company that does graphic stuff. They make motion animation stuff, CGI stuff for companies, arts and all of that. So they approached me. They wanted me to join them as intern. You understand? I told them I don't have any skill in
graphics,
in graphic design, and I don't have I don't have the drive to do graphic stuff.
You prefer coding?
So I wanted to be a computer programmer. That was the first offer they made me. And then I told them I didn't want to do anything graphics. So they gave me an offer, even though I didn't know anything about it, that they would train me. You
Okay.
understand? So that was the first offer I got, like on a platter of gold. You are just nothing. Come,
Without any
empty
interview.
slate, come, we will train you and all of that. So at some point down the road that year, I was like, I was broke and I'm regretting why didn't I join this guy? By now, I would have been making money.
Yeah.
So because as a man, some point if you're broke, you'll be like, what's the next thing to do to get money?
Yes.
So, but I have this belief that my breakthrough will be in coding, that I'll make money from coding. I've always has that um idea ingrained in me.
I think your story is quite really special because it gives the audience, right, the ability to see that you don't just jump into this space and everything happens overnight.
Yeah, there's always a story. There's always where you're coming from and where you went to, where you want to be.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand? No matter where you find yourself and you believe that you're going to get to a particular level, but you kind of at every stage you are, you know, you can count the success you have and then the failures you have.
yes,
At this particular point, I am not the big name everybody hears, but if I look at where I'm coming from and where I am, I can now motivate you, that kind of little motivation that wherever you are, you understand, it can impact you in a
yes.
little way.
For those people out there, right, who are watching and they want to move from just coding, let's say they just finished learning how to code, they want to move from just coding to start making money, right? Can you like give me a little bit idea of how you moved from just a developer, because there's always that stage of just coding for fun and there's this point where you take it serious that I need to make money from it. How did you move from just coding for fun to making money or making a career out of the skills? The first time you made your first money.
Okay, well, the first time I made the first money in tech was in 20 2021, around April 2021.
Okay.
So we're actually at Applied Technology, learning web development. So we're
Yeah.
already done with the web development course.
Yeah.
So one of my friend then came up to me because I was like kind of good at this whole stuff because I was very, very pumped to learn the skill. So he came and told me that he got a client that wants us to make a website for him and is willing to pay um 180K. And I was like,
180.
180K.
Yeah.
So and I was like, yo, get the stuff. Let us do whatever it takes. We are going to fix this website
Yeah.
and we are going to make it work. So
But you did not have any experience there.
I didn't, that was my first experience trying to use tech to make money.
Okay.
So everywhere, whatever I don't know how to do, I will research Stack Overflow, YouTube, anywhere I can get the information of how to do that. So within 2 weeks, we put up the whole website, put it up there. We got the balance. We already gotten um half of the money, which is like 80K. Once we got
Okay.
that 80K, there was a mind reset that this is real.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So within 2 weeks, we're already working round the clock, and then we put the website together, got the rest 80K. So from there, we took off.
Yeah.
You understand?
And start
So
coding the side.
yeah. So that was the first time I made money in tech.
Okay. So you said now that um you also had some web development programming class in applied technologies. Was that after you self-taught yourself? And did you have a need to what was the reason why you had to also go and take another extra web development course after self-teaching yourself? Was there a reason for that?
Okay. During those days when I first discovered tech, I had my laptop. School activities wouldn't give you that much time to concentrate on something,
Yeah.
doing this stuff. So you kind of do it off and on. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't do it. You understand? Because of that inconsistency
Yeah.
in trying to learn this skill and perfect the skill, you find out that you're not, let me say, proficient at this. And then when someone is even trying to give you a job, within yourself you're not that good
Yeah.
to you know,
To take up the job.
to take up the job.
Yeah.
So I kind of always have that question myself
Yeah.
about my skills level. So all I've been going through that for a long time, and then 2021 I decided to let me go to a place where people actually where they teach people how to do this thing.
Yeah.
You understand? And then if I can now go there, learn this thing with a curriculum, you
Yeah.
understand? I can now, then I believe that if I go through that, I will now develop myself
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
have what it takes to actually take up a project, start it by myself and finish it by myself. That's why I went to applied technologies in
Okay.
2021.
Okay.
So that was the reason why I actually went back.
So if I would say, like you had to, the purpose, the main reason why you had to go for that was for you to be able to kind of like connect, because I feel like when you're learning online, right, without any support from an instructor, right, somebody that has experience in the space, there is this disconnect from a lot of things. You kind of like learn this, learn this, learn this, then bringing it together to build a full application. So taking that web course at Applied Technologies was something that you needed to do to help you bring those things together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was more of like something you already know that is you already know that it exists online, but you want it streamlined,
Yeah.
and then want it to be streamlined, and then also build your, like, should I say, confidence level that you can deliver when you go through this process. Because
Yeah.
when in Nigeria there's something about institutionalization of stuff.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
When you go through some certain things and it is institutionalized, it build your confidence. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's basically.
Do you think having a lot of similar minded people like you around back then in Applied Technologies, do you think that it helped in it kind of shaped your learning process? Because you said also that you have your friend was the person that connected you guys to the first job, right? Do you think that having people with similar mindset like that affected the way your
Yeah, I would say that if not for one thing, I would say it actually helped me to get my first job.
yeah
You understand? I
yeah
don't I don't forget that day for any reason. So
yeah
when you're in a place where you have people doing the same thing with you, you people have the same energy. You
yeah
understand? You people are working towards a goal. At the same time, you people are competing. It drives you at a faster pace. And then when you have issues, you have someone that is guiding you in these things. You have someone that you can go to, help me fix this and all of that. All those things are ingredients that when you put them together, it makes you, come out stronger and then have more confidence in yourself. I would say going to apply technologies and then being in a particular place with people that are doing the same thing and have like minds and chasing a similar goal helps a lot.
Okay, so you're a mobile developer right now. That's actually where you focus more on, right?
Yeah.
At the moment. So can you tell me if there was a significant project that got you into the mobile development space? Because you did web development, you built websites for clients and then also for people that you worked for. But how did you move from what project moved you from just web development into the mobile space?
So the main project that got me into the space, before that project, I was actually doing projects on my own, not training on that. But the main project that got me into that space is I built a real estate app.
Okay.
So where people can actually buy and sell and then share real estate properties,
Okay.
lands, house, business buildings, and all types of real estate, office space, and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So I actually built it for a company in
Okay.
Enugu.
Okay.
So it was actually a best property market real estate app. So I built it for a company called Joe Homes. So that was the main
That got you into the
that's
mobile.
the main app that got into the mobile space.
But initially, you had other applications you had built.
Yes.
But this one was the first one that, was it the first one that got you paid? like that you made money from?
Yeah, that was the first mobile app that I built that I got paid
Okay, like
by a company.
how much, like if I'm starting up, right? If I'm starting up as a mobile developer with, let's say, 1 year experience, let's say I'm building my own mobile apps with React Native, like how much, what's the estimate of how much I can make, like after a year of consistent programming, right? Consistent programming with some few apps. Like how much do you think I can charge someone for a basic app, maybe like a social media app or something?
Okay, if you say social media app is quite a
It's quite
complex.
massive.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
quite
let's look at
complex.
something that is simple. Maybe an app that helps you um track your habit, something like that.
Or
Just I come every
track
morning.
your expenses and all of
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, my
Okay,
expense
let me
now.
say, depending on how the company wants it. If they are giving you design and then depending on the complexity, the screen size, the number of screens, the API endpoints you're going to integrate and all of that.
Yeah.
So the range you're going to be charging that you're going to be making with it is between 300,000 naira to a million
Okay.
naira,
Depending on the complexity of the
depending on the
application.
complexity,
Okay.
what they want to integrate into that. But if it's just basic expensive an app that tracks your expenses, just
Yeah.
basic stuff. Yeah, it's
You can just charge. I think 300 is cool. 300
300
is not
is okay.
bad.
But depending on the complexity now, you can charge between 300K to 1
To
million.
1 million. Okay.
Yes, as a
So
starter.
yeah, nice. So for you guys out there that are dreaming to be a mobile app developer like Arenze, you can see how much, the financial aspect of building these applications, right? You're looking at 300 to 1 million with a year of experience, consistent coding, not just coming and out of the whole thing. So what advice, right, will you give your younger self, or probably somebody out there that is dreaming to come into the tech space, either as a mobile developer or as a web developer? What advice could you give your younger self or someone that is probably coming into the space?
Okay, I will say advice I'll give you is one is what is actually motivating you to get into this space. I will outrightly tell you what motivated me to go into this space. There's no point trying to, cover things up. It's the money. You understand? It's the money.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at people doing web development stuff, charge 300K, 400K for a website. But depending on the complexity of app, you're charging a million, 1.5 million, 2 million for an app.
So you can go from 300, 200, all the way to 1.5 million, 2
Yes,
million.
yes. So
That's massive.
that's number one is your motivation. What's motivating you? I've already said it. My own is money.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Then the second one is you have to find someone that is doing this thing, already doing this thing, and then is making that money. And when you're looking at that person, then you're seeing yourself 2 years, 2 years in the future, where you're going to be.
You see yourself in the person.
Yeah, you're seeing
Okay.
yourself. Okay, this person now can just uh, get one client and then charge somebody 2 million, and then you know that once you get yourself to that skill level, you see yourself there charging somebody 2 million, and then you see the step you're going to take. You understand?
Okay.
So that's one of the things that motivates me.
Okay.
You
So
understand?
what the first advice is going to be, find a motivation for
Yeah.
yourself, right? Find something, either it is that you want to make it big, cash out, right?
That's the thing
Make a
that is
lot of money.
driving you, the fuel
Okay.
that is driving you.
Okay. Then what else? Any other thing outside the motivation? Is there any other advice you can give someone that is trying to get into this space?
Okay, another advice I would like to give people in these spaces. There's this common thing they usually say: you can do coding 1 hour a day, but if you want to get result very
Yeah.
quick result, you have to put a very substantial amount of time. You have to put in hours into this.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you want to become proficient in order to deliver like a basic project. So let me say a company.
Yeah.
You understand? You can do this in 6 months if you can put in 12 hours a day,
12,
12
12, 18, 12,
12
18,
hours,
16.
12 hours, 18 hours a day into this. You
Yeah.
understand? Some people might say this is too much, it's impossible, but people do it.
Yeah.
You understand? It's not that you can't do it for 2 hours and then achieve the same goal, but you can't compare yourself with someone that is doing this thing for 12 hours a day with you doing
Yeah.
it for 2 hours a day. You understand?
Exactly.
When you will, where you will get to in a year, that person will do that same thing in 4 months.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? So the advice I'm trying to put across is the more hour you invest in
The
this,
time.
yeah, the more time you invest in this, the more results you're going to get. If you're looking at switching careers, what you're doing from now and then you can now be thinking of doing this thing part time and then you understand.
Yeah.
But
Going to
if you
work.
already have maybe your somebody is still taking care of you, paying your bills and all of that, you have all the time to yourself. When you want to eat food, you go to the kitchen and get food and all of that. You can put in 12 hours into this. If
Okay.
you put in 12 hours into this,
Make it.
you will make it.
Yeah.
You understand? So there are not much barriers to when you're doing this thing on your own. You have social media handles you can be posting about these things. You understand? As luck will always have it. One person will discover you and then will want to work with you.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
advice basically is just more hours you put in, more results you get.
And then the motivation.
And then the motivation.
So you guys have seen it. Have enough motivation, right? Have something that drives you. Also, put in a lot of hours towards it. I really learned a lot from having this conversation with you, and I hope that the audience learned quite a lot of things. So if you guys don't know, I'll repeat it again. Codeland CS is basically a platform where you can sign up and learn a skill in tech. We have some guided instructors there to assist you at every point, and we have our community where you can also interact with developers who are already working in the space, as well as people who are learning on our platform as well. It's a very fun community to be in, and an educative one as well.
I encourage you guys to go over to that platform and then also register to the platform. Choose one area you want to specialize in and then move ahead. When you do this a couple of months down, I think you will not regret your decision.
Okay. Nice coming from Arenze. I really appreciate that, to be honest. I really appreciate that. Okay, so if you loved this interactive session and you learned a lot from it, you can drop on the comments, talk about the part that something you learned from Arenze. If you're in the process of getting into the tech space, feel free to ask any question in the comment section. And don't forget to like the video, share as well, and hit the subscribe button, because we're going to be getting more from other experienced engineers in the space, and we'll have a lot to learn. Thank you, Mr. Arinze. Thank you for coming by.